The Hobbit trilogy? Welcome back, everybody, to another Real Chumps movie news. We have a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it. Before we jump into it, remember to like, subscribe. We have a ton of content on the channel. If you're new here, we have a weekly podcast.
Yep.
As well as trailer reactions and initial impressions. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe. That way you never miss anything that we've got going on here.
Yep. And for those of you guys who are recent subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. And for chatting about the new stuff. A lot of great stuff happening for the past couple weeks. We really appreciate it. So, Marcel, what's the first story? And I think we're evolving our news segment to understand how we want to go about doing this. And we found that it might be the most fun for you to give the breakdown and then I react.
Yeah. You don't know what we're talking about.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the announcement of new Lord of the Rings movies, starting with The Hunt for Gollum. So Variety announced this week that Warner Brothers announced this week that they are doing more Lord of the Rings movies. And the first one that they're doing is The Hunt for Gollum. Andy Serkis is coming to direct.
Okay.
Peter Jackson, along with his producers, are quote-unquote in every step of the way.
Okay.
Not as writers.
No, but asking for clarifying questions or hopefully keep it sane. Okay.
And slated release date in 2026, so in 2 years.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so real quick. So Hunt for Gollum, is this after the initial series? That was the question that I initially had.
So my understanding is, so if in the books it talks a lot about how what's-his-face, Aragorn, goes out looking for Gollum.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we later find out, like in Fellowship of the Ring, for example, in the movie, we see that he's been caught by someone is yelling at me right now.
Yeah.
And then he gives away the location of the Shire, right?
Correct.
So my understanding and what I'm really hoping is that this movie is, our protagonist is Aragorn going out and hunting, looking for Gollum to find the ring.
Okay.
As a what, Night Ranger? No, what were they called?
I can't remember.
Anyways,
I watched them 2 years ago. In fact, my youngest came down when I was watching The Two Towers, and she was like, "Cool, can I watch this?" I'm like, "No, Mom will kill me." So no.
Mom will kill me.
So I was like, "Just wait a couple years, and then we'll do it."
But yeah, so I mean, this is a couple years before the events of the Fellowship.
Initial thoughts. One, I'm all for revisiting a beloved trilogy or IP that has just really a good world, that we have a very specific story in, that there's a lot of openness that can be explored, which is really great. But 2 years, I don't know why they would have announced that right now. I would have waited just a little bit longer.
Really? Even though it's slated for 2026, we knew that they had announced a year ago that they were going to do. Saslav, had talked about how he wanted to go back to Harry Potter and to Lord of the Rings. Okay,
oh, that's right. You are correct.
And so I think they've been working on some ideas for this past year, and I'm assuming they have a script by now.
Okay, so. I mean, great. I think it's great. I don't know. I think part of it is I know it's beneficial to get some buzz started, but sometimes I think I want, if they're gonna start the buzz, I want things to obsess over, with a photo or stuff like that.
At least a title card, right?
Yeah, something. To just, go from there. But this is a property that, if Peter Jackson and his team are involved as producing, just to get, clarity, I think it'll be great. At the end of the day, the Amazon, the Rings of Power.
I liked it.
I loved it.
I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it. So, to me, I'm there's enough really solid information that for people to pull from and stay in that realm, that I think that they'll be things will be good.
Here's the thing. Two things that have me excited. I want a Aragorn focused story.
Yeah.
Have him be our protagonist and just focus on him.
He's really good characters to focus on.
As a ranger going out and, keeping his whole royal lineage hidden and just being one of the common people searching for Gollum. I think that's great. I like that idea. I like that Andy Serkis is
Coming back.
coming back to play Gollum again.
Yep.
And to direct.
I think that would be. I think that's where I think I'm most excited about is Andy Serkis having a hand at directing.
Yeah.
I think he fell in love with the character, and so I think he'll have a unique take on like trying to capture the story effectively.
I want to see him. I want to see the behind the scenes because when he did the mocap for the original trilogy, like he's on there and he's like, full on. Can a 60-year-old Andy Serkis still get down on his knees and hop around and jump?
I mean, they got something in the water in Hollywood. So,
my second thing I wanted to bring up though with that is bringing Peter Jackson and team back the right decision? And I ask, the Hobbit trilogy, not the best.
Have you watched it?
Here's the thing. I watched the first one and I was like, why are we dragging this on for 2 more movies? Okay? I watched the second one and I said, why are we dragging this on for a third? I started the third one and I was just like, nah, I can't do this. I can't. And I haven't finished the third one.
That's fair. I can see that.
They weren't well liked.
Not initially, but...
Are they? Do you?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Do you like The Hobbit?
Let us know in the comments if you guys like The Hobbits. I'm gonna stop there. I want to bring this. Maybe we'll have a discussion in the comments down below.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think as long as they're like only there to help with like clarity, like clarification, or like to give like some insight as to whether that be locations or like story help get like because that was his life for like several years.
Yeah.
Right. So like he knows he did so. There's so much that you learn in that process that I think they're hoping to tap into. But it could also be it could be to their detriment.
I think a lot of people were angry that Amazon didn't pull in Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe this is like a PR move on Warner Brothers' part to say like, hey, y'all were mad that Amazon didn't bring him in. Like we're bringing
it. Right? Yeah, it could definitely be that.
Yeah, right. Let us know. Comment below. Next up are your favorite CEO of all time, Bob Iger of Disney. So they had their earnings call, or a quarterly earnings call last week. And here's what he had to say. Quote, we're slowly going to decrease volume and go to probably about 2 TV series a year instead of what had become 4 and reduce our film output from maybe 4 a year to 2 or a maximum of 3. Specifically talking about Marvel.
Yeah.
So overall strategy for Disney is to kind of scale down, focus on quality versus quantity. We knew this, but he is really calling out Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he goes on to say, we're working hard on what that path is. We're excited for what's coming in 2025.
Okay, so there's we didn't put this in the news docket, or at least I don't know if you did, but at the breakdown is the fact that like the Disney put a cease and desist order on whatever social media account has been posting leaked images of the new Captain America Brave New World stuff. Okay, so one, in this whole aspect, I think like they want to decrease the amount of stuff, and yet they have McDonald's meals that have Brave New World like action figures and like signage and stuff, and they're getting mad at a social media account for posting stuff that's out there. I know this is like not necessarily connected, but I feel like Iger is not happy with Marvel.
He is not happy with Marvel.
I think he's not happy with Marvel, and not only is he not happy with Marvel, but he's unhappy with the fact the ongoing discussion with Marvel happening in the zeitgeist.
Yes. I think he's not happy with Marvel. I think there was a bit of backlash with like the episode 9 of Star Wars, and so Lucasfilm decided to kind of take a break. The 5 movies they announced, we haven't heard anything about, right? All of those different ones.
We just want our James Mangold movie.
Yeah, right. So I think they paused, whereas Marvel was just like, let's just push out,
just go,
right? And I think he is mad at that fact that you guys kept going. You should have slowed down, right?
You should have slowed down.
He does go on to say though, quote, overall, I feel great about the slate. Talking about 2025, it's something that I've committed to spending more and more time on. The team is one that I have tremendous confidence in, and the IP that we're mining including all the sequels that we're doing, is second to none.
Is having Bob Iger more involved going to be more beneficial, and putting the pressure on them to slow down and make better stuff actually going to pay off in dividends?
Look, we've talked about this. There was too much Marvel stuff out there for a while during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even name all the TV shows that came out from the last Avengers to today.
Yeah.
There's too much. And I think the issue was that they were just wanting to introduce a bunch of characters, see what people liked, and then build out an Avengers roster from that. Whereas they should have just really
solidified who they want to go, make the stories move
and
forward.
Focus on those characters, right?
And focus on the characters in their stories throughout the films that they were going for. Because like I think Vox had a great article, or was it The Verge? I can't remember. Somebody had an article that talked about like the Eternals, and like how is the Eternals, like how's that gone for like 6 movies and no one's talked about what's happened in the Eternals? You know, like
the head that's sticking somewhere in the Atlantic.
Yeah. Just like all this stuff. And so, I don't know, just pretty interesting article. I think this is good. I mean, it means that like the fact that he said this on the record means that like it's a big deal internally, in my opinion, because the president, Iger's out there and he's making it publicly known the scaling back is happening.
And that he's very involved in.
And that he's very involved, which means, like, when you're in a situation like that, not that you don't want that, but, like, you don't want that.
You don't want that.
Unless you're in unless you're like, I mean, this is, like, the president of the whole for this division. And, no, the whole company.
Yeah. Yeah, of Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
That's, like, yikes.
Yeah.
So.
I think also, I'm curious to see how much longer Kevin Feige wants this. He's expressed a lot of interest in wanting to film a Star Wars movie, right? He's talked a lot about that. And so, like, I almost wonder if he is kind of transitioning and saying, yeah, Bob, do whatever you want, man. Like, whoever you pick to take over, like, you have say, you do whatever you want, right? Like, I think Kevin Feige's ready to, like, transition into other stuff. But we'll see.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, what's the last one?
Speaking of the MCU, we got some casting announcements for Galactus.
Galactus?
For the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So we know Fantastic Four is coming out, and Ralph Ineson has been cast as Galactus. He is someone I am not too well familiar with. Okay?
Yeah.
But I did see some clips of him, and he has got a stellar, deep, awesome voice that I think works great for Galactus.
Is he British?
Yeah.
Okay, I was pretty sure he's British. I'm trying to think what I've known him for. He's in the Final Fantasy. He's a voice actor there.
He was the Green Knight in the Green Knight.
Oh yes.
He was in the Creator. He was the one general. And I know he was in
Chernobyl.
Yep.
Cool.
Also in Game of Thrones.
And okay. Sweet.
So, I mean, great. I'm going to look into more of his
He does have a good voice.
Yeah.
I really like his voice. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see what he's got.
It'll be cool.
It'll be good.
I'm excited to see how they approach the character on screen. If he's going to be the big floating body and head in space.
I know. Let's just hope it's not another MODOK debacle.
Or from the other Fantastic Four movies where it was just a cloud.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I
know people like those Fantastic Four movies. I hated both of them. I really did. Anyway, then we also got casting of John Malkovich.
Yep.
For Fantastic Four.
Okay.
And of and Walter Hauser. Both of them have been cast in unnamed roles. It'll be interesting to see who they play. I think I would love to see. One, we took way too long to get John Malkovich in the MCU, and I'm glad that he's in here.
Facts.
But I think he'd be a great the dad of Sue and
or Johnny the Storm
and Johnny Storm.
Yeah,
Mr. Storm. I think he'd be a great.
What does he do? What Storm is it? How big was the character? I don't know the Fantastic Four very well.
Often he's the one that like works at the whatchamacallit,
the tower.
the one building, yeah. And he's the one that helps kind of get them on the path to go out to space in the original storyline. So usually he's kind of credited as the one that like gets the team together and lets them go on and do their thing. So
Let's say dad approved.
Dad approved. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I am getting more and more excited about the Fantastic Four. I'm still trying to be very reserved. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be cautious because we don't actually know how the Fantastic Four is playing out. Because it's like the last thing that was slated in their docket of like what's to come, and
it's also like outside of Deadpool, this is the first Fox property that we're getting a movie of, because we still don't have any idea when the X-Men are coming.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm excited for this movie. I think the casting so far is great. I know I expressed some beef with Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, and I still have some of that beef, but I'm excited for this movie.
Let's hope with the fact that Iger is putting the pressure to be, trying to slow things down, be more thoughtful in production and in what they're trying to accomplish, that we receive things that we're like that we finish watching the film and we're excited for.
Yeah, I just want another Avengers movie. I've been saying this for years now.
Yeah.
Look, that's it for news this week. Comment below, let us know your thoughts, and make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes.
See you in the next one.